Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't look at Project 5 last week. We didn't look at Project 5 last week.
Okay, well, that's what I thought. And then, but somebody may have turned one in late. And in that case, there was no place to turn it in because I somehow removed that. I saw duplicates of something. And yeah, so I'm still learning a lot about Canvas. And I'm going to need this class this summer coming up because don't want that to happen again. So what we would want to be looking at is any projects that have been coming in, and I think that I have some here. It says it's still launching.
If we made a physical copy of the final project, can we show it off? I know it's not the same as having it in person, but
yeah. So I'm just going to see if I can close those tabs. Yeah, so I'm going to be reconstructing that project and putting that back in there, but I'm going to focus today on anything that's coming in for the final project because that's what's been, and I was about to go and gather those submissions, and when I found out that I had not quite blown away somebody's project, but messed with the grade. So,
Beth, I have a Project 5 PDF.
Well, the Project 5 PDF, I think, is the one from last year that I reconstructed in. I reconstructed all those modules in Canvas.
Okay, yeah, I just have the PDF.
Yeah, I have the one from last year too.
Okay.
But I rebuilt it. So this one, let's see, I'm going to share my screen right here.
Yeah, you're right. It's from 2019. That's what I have.
Yeah. So this is the one that I took from the paper PDF and adapted it and put it into Canvas. Canvas can't we can't do PDFs anymore in Canvas, so it all had to be reconstructed. So I'm going to be reconstructing it from this, and hopefully it's not. I did some adjusting based on where we were at that point because we'd already gone into shelter mode, and so things like the physical portfolios and that sort of thing were modified in here. So I'm going to go into, let's see, I'm going to go into our submissions folder and go to our final. So I do have all my the Project 5 submissions here, which is good. Now, if we haven't seen, I think maybe, so Sophia's one, I think that this is the one I was concerned about. So I'm going to be looking at the, there's lots of little pieces in here. So I'm going to be looking at this final PDF. So as we're getting, as we're pulling our final materials together and using looking at our resume and making sure it's what we want to put out there and making sure the look and feel is what we want. So this is the one that I was noticing had some features that we talked about a little bit last week. So there's this wonderful element in the middle, and then up here on the upper right is a more clear one, and then there's down here there is this one, and then I believe we have another mark. It might and there's another mark that's more solid than this. It's just a that we were talking about for being a favicon-like candidate. So um, that was what we were looking at last week, and I don't see it here. So anyway, let's go into.
Beth, we're not seeing your screen right now.
Did I not? Oh, okay. Okay, so here we go. So meanwhile, back here, I don't think that these were all the ones we looked at last week. And so what I'm looking at now is what we have in our final project folder. And I think I may have one from Anne that's in here. And then one from Max in here too. So let's just take a look at this project 6 right here. So the things that we were moving towards pulling together, deciding on a final look and logo for our card and whatever else we might be using. So we have right here, we have some cards, and let me see if I can so this is has the elements that we're going to be looking at that are in the beginning of the web pages for the portfolio online. So we'll be seeing this image right here, which is really strong and good one. And then these are some of the card and label like elements, some of the pieces. So this is what we were pulling together to get ready for whatever way that we're going to put our portfolio together. And since some of you aren't necessarily involved with the doing stuff on the web, you would maybe doing something that's physical. So you would be using pages like this inside a book or inside some kind of format that might be tangible or sendable as a PDF. And so this is one of the pages I was looking at. One of the things that I was tempted to do for this page is to take this podcasting, this really strong piece, and put it right here juxtaposed with the, I think I might have cut it out someplace and tried to make that happen. So Julia's mistaken of taking this and just seeing how it looks if this is with these night scenes over here, that it would have a really strong contrast. I think it's kind of lost with these.
Yeah, it's kind of just a hodgepodge of a page layout right now.
Yeah, so it would be, so I was thinking of trying just to see what that would look like. And if I put it, now I don't know if I can do that or not, but if I could make that bigger, I don't think I can cut it out, but I was thinking that this was kind of what I had in mind just because of the,
I'll have it be like a full layout.
that was, might be, just see how that looks.
Okay.
Yeah. And then these other elements can be in another group possibly. so this one is really nice. Also, everything is so cool here. I would kind of like to see maybe the truck pretty large here, and maybe with ice cream and deep sea up here possibly.
Okay.
Yeah, just thinking of because this one is always has a big it's a reality check for a lot of people when you talk about I do signs on surfaces, all kinds of them, and you say it in words, sometimes it doesn't hit home.
Yeah.
If you make the truck big and they go, oh, I see. So that one I was thinking could be kind of big, and then these are really strong too. And this group here, and maybe in another place.
Okay.
So the this looks like you could have maybe an opportunity to take the modules that you have in your resume here, and since they're shaped kind of the same way, if you find out about a job that's coming up, you could easily switch them around based on what you're going for, so that you can take a piece and put it in the top, read me first spot.
Customize it for each.
Yeah, so you have enough modules where you could, and I think this is really important for everyone, is to be able to move things around in your resume easily, so that you can revise it. Not like I did the projects in Canvas, but so you can revise it to be tailored to the person you're sending it to, or whatever, so that it's flexible in that way, so that you're not locked into a design that requires a lot of tweaking, where you can just take pieces and move them around, and
That's why I put a lot of the stuff on the sidebars that are always like the same.
yeah, so this is another good way of doing things, where you have your testimonials and clients and that kind of thing. But having enough so that you can tailor it to where you're going or who you're sending it to would be a strategy that you don't have to have right now, but it occurred to me as I was looking at some of them that it would be good to have that kind of modular ability to move things around. So, and this is very striking.
That's the back page.
That's the sage page.
The book is closed.
That's what we call minimalist design.
Exactly. It took me like 8 hours to get that.
Yeah.
Just the right color.
Right.
Yeah. So, and the letter I like too. It has a very, it feels like it means business, and it's clear and easy to read. And I might shorten the line length just a little bit, but it's probably going to get read by a reader anyway. And not,
Right.
so the most important thing for any of them is to make it easy to read for whatever is reading it, or whoever is reading it, and have keywords pop out so that match with the job. So this is something we hear pretty often, is you you start peppering your letter or whatever response you have with all of the requirements that are listed in the job ad, so that they have as many things matching up as possible, for somebody to check off their list, or something to note in their automatic reading.
Fun little story. My mom, she got laid off actually the year after I got laid off. So she went and worked for a place and she didn't like it. So she's been looking for a job, and she's got her master's. No, she's got her master's in marketing and all this experience and whatnot. And she got kicked back an email for a job, and it said that she didn't have enough experience. So she responded to the canned email that they sent out, and their response was, "How would you like to interview for the job next week?" So it was like it obviously got rejected because like somewhat like it just went through the reader, but when she asked them for more information, they actually physically looked at her resume and stuff, so she was able to get the job that way. So I thought that was kind of cool.
That's a good point. Yeah. So the personal contact, and I think that right now that's becoming more important again, because everybody's having to do a lot of, well, they're having the readers do that too, the scanners. But I think that the people are wanting the personal connection rather than that sort of remote, no more remote.
Yeah, people are longing for that interaction.
And then having a good sense of what things are going to cost and being clear about it. And in this case for us, if you were doing costing for a client and they wanted to see what your estimates were and what you came back with, you could present them with something like this that would feel really readable and clear and something that you could make decisions about in a conference. Whereas something that's not visually packaged like this with headings and clear space elements that helps people read it, then design can really make something like this go a lot easier when you actually meet up with somebody and you look at it and it's clear. So these are the mini cards. Also like this idea a lot, and having stickers, that kind of stuff is really fun. So where do people put these stickers? I've got a sticker. I went to Digital Nest. I got a sticker.
Yeah, I was thinking people in Santa Cruz love stickers, so I was like, why not stickers?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And maybe someone will stick it on a stop sign for me. I'm not tall enough.
Yeah. So what I'd like to do now is go to your site that you made, and that you have to. Do I have
the
the
link right there? It should be interactive links on the first or second paragraph, I guess.
Oh, the second paragraph.
Yeah.
It's.
Oh.
I'm in
Maybe
a.
In the preview. I don't know.
Maybe we need to get another version of it. Because I just went to it right away before. Huh. Any other thoughts?
No, the only link I have, I mean, I can text it to you, actually. I can find my keyboard.
Can I just enter it up here?
Yeah, I gotta look it up.
Okay. Yeah, it opened up right away for me when I was looking at this before.
Oh, it's Julie AE Designs .my portfolio.
Did I get everything in
I
there?
put it in the Slack chat there too. There you go. Myportfolio.com. Oh, doesn't say.
There's no,
Oh, it's aedesigns.myportfolio.com. Sorry, there's a dot in there. Very important little tiny dot.
okay.
Let's see.
Mm.
I put it in the chat. I don't know.
Let me go to chat here. Am I covering up my chat?
Oh yeah, you might have to hit the.
Oh yeah.
Probably on another view screen.
Mm. If I can close that before I can hit it. Yeah.
There it is. Yay!
Oh,
We win.
okay. So we're going to go back to the top here. I'm going to start at the. You can go to any of these.
There's a lot of. This is the Adobe Portfolio website. There's a lot of things on it that I wish I could do, but it doesn't look like this template has that option. So I'd probably mess around with it a little bit more.
I'll go back to the work. Yeah. That's nice. Okay. And so this is any place, oh, cards.
Yeah, it's weird. You have to go back to the work section each time. And it like wasn't letting me scroll through all the categories, which I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably stick with Squarespace over the long term, just because it seems like that's hard to say, but Squarespace has more adaptability, I guess. You can modify it a lot more. I mean, it's not free, so there's that, but I guess you get what you pay for.
Right. Well, I get a lot of positive, heard a lot of positive things about Squarespace. John, what do you know about Squarespace?
Squarespace. I haven't personally used Squarespace. I've looked at it. I know people who like it a lot. It's for people who want to get a site that it's kind of like WordPress, but it's a little more expensive and a little more pre-built for you. Yeah. So it's for people that don't want to hassle a lot with setting up a website, don't really want to hassle a lot with managing it, are willing to pay a little more each month for that privilege. They have good templates. You can do different things like portfolio sites, commerce. But I'd say the alternative to Squarespace would be setting up a standard WordPress site with WordPress themes that work for you. That would be a little cheaper and require a little more work, not a whole lot more, but so there's a trade-off there. I don't know. I think people who have actually used it might have some valuable comments. So I actually haven't used it myself, so I'm only speaking secondhand.
The thing that I liked about Squarespace is you can combine templates. So if you want to use like a base template, you can do that, but you can also like, kind of like, I guess Wix does it too. You can build out pages based on like, here's a photo gallery, here's a, text box, and you can kind of like WYSIWYG it together, and then combine that on top of an existing portfolio to make it a little bit more custom. And if on here at the bottom, I left a link on the bottom of the main page. You'll have to, the X is in the top right corner. That's what I don't like about this. You can't really find the navigations. If you go to the work at the top there, because like basically each one of these, you can click on these pictures and it'll take you into a page full of that stuff. And then at the very bottom of the pages, I have it linked to my main Graphic Jewels site, which is made with Squarespace. So I think I'd probably use these two in combination. Like, here's this stuff, but there's that. Yeah, see at the bottom it says powered by Graphic Jewels. So I just made that so that links to my main website.
And
which needs to be updated.
there's that. Okay. Yeah. So this is the job that you got when you came to Cabrillo, and you're going to take the classes and to go get the job.
Yeah.
And then this one came through.
Yeah, I got the job and started school like in the same week. That was hell, but it worked out though, because the first class I took was DM2, and like one of the major projects that I had to do was rewrite a patient handbook. So
Right.
everything I learned in DM2 became my life really quick.
Yeah, people don't realize, I think, what's in DM2. A lot of the people coming from DM1, they don't quite get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's definitely the most overlooked thing, because now I work with, like, I hire a lot of designers to work with me on projects, and it's the one pet peeve that I have, because I can't count on anybody to do anything in InDesign the proper way. Like, they don't understand how to use master pages, and like I had one guy make name tags for me, and he messed them all up, and it took me 2 hours to fix it because he didn't use a master page. Had he used a master page, it would have taken me 2 minutes. So I don't want to hire that guy again. That's for sure.
People sometimes think because they've touched an application and opened it up and done a couple of tutorials online that they're good to go.
Yeah.
But as those of you who've taken DM2 know, it's kind of a rigorous journey, and it's even harder all online. And you keep, saying, okay, it's styles. Yeah, it's styles. It's still styles.
Yeah.
Maybe you're going to go to DM6, and I got to get you ready for Leslie. So it's like, going to be even more. You're going to have to learn even more about styles. And
Yeah.
these pages are just, if you don't know styles, this is something like these would be kind of a nightmare to.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the experience that Jennifer Pittman had with the first Cabrillo alumni, so she was sending out this, making this big tabloid thing or a book, and it was made her crazy. And then she took a class and she was able to handle all
Yeah, if
that
you haven't
stuff.
taken DM2 yet, I definitely recommend it.
And DM60 is everybody has to know both about print and about everything online. What's going on under the hood?
Right.
So yeah, this one. Let's see, I think it's good. Let's go back to work and see.
Yeah, I don't like that you can't, like on my main website, you can jump through all those categories with a navigation tool, but for some reason I can figure out how to do that
Yeah,
on
so
Folio.
meanwhile back here, so each one of those is about the publishing. And so as I'm looking through all of the post-pandemic publications like Fast Company and Wired, and everybody's talking about design and doing things remotely and all of that stuff, and kind of what physical things mean to them, and how everybody's attitudes are kind of changing about what's precious and what they miss, and what they want to have happen again, and how they're handling things. So a lot of people are talking about books, and also how you can get people together in creative teams, that kind of thing. So being able to see these kind of familiar physical things is reassuring to people. It sort of feels comforting. So that a combination of the two worlds is going to be important. And this piece is another one where you
That's my
really need
InDesign
to have your
Hey,
InDesign chops together, right?
Yeah, this was the first project I had to do. This one here, actually, Beth, Sam says hello, and I hired him to help me.
You hired Sam?
Yeah, I hired Sam to help me create this template. So
Good.
he was also in DM2. So if you take DM2, let me know, because I'll probably hire you at some point to help me do something.
I know me and Bridget took DM2.
There you go.
Yeah, and Anne. Yeah, the
And
three
Anne.
of us are in DM6 together, actually.
There you go. Yeah, see, I gotta still take DM6, but it's definitely something that.
But it's good. It's a really good class, actually. I really learned a lot about InDesign this semester.
It's a wonderful class. I need to take it, but it's happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. So so this has everything that we were after, in terms of showing the things you've made and created, and putting them into categories, and getting a kind of clear picture. I definitely want to get into the hand painted stuff. So yeah, so this one I'd like to see kind of big on the.
Yeah. I think I've seen that design before, actually, like locally or something.
Yeah, he's in Aptos.
Okay, yeah, awesome.
So you've probably seen it. He has I did a bicycle for him too. But yeah, he's got I did a bunch of stuff for this guy, actually. He was a contractor and then he decided he was gonna start making wine and olive oil.
Wow.
So a good switch, I guess.
Yep.
Very cool.
But yeah, you've probably seen it around Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
These are nice.
That one I just painted for.
Is that acrylic gouache?
It's all one shot. So it's oil.
Oh, one shot. Oh, oil.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got really high while I painted that, sniffing the fume.
Those creative juices flowing.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the perk of the job.
So you collapse on the floor.
No, I have a respirator.
Oh. Nice. Nostalgia.
Those are good.
Yeah, that's probably the most. You guys you weren't around. Like, we were playing our
This
45.
will date you if you know what they are.
Yeah, right. Well,
They look so familiar, but I can't put my finger on what they are.
It's the little insert to a 45
45.
on a record.
Right.
Yeah. So a necklace out of those is really nice.
Right? I actually painted this like 1,000 times.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got my. John, you have a collection of 45.
Yeah. If you go to Meta Vinyl,
Yeah,
they're really
that's
nice.
definitely the insert for a 45.
No, how long till somebody makes it into a fidget spinner?
Probably is.
Anyway, it's a candidate for all kinds of stuff. And I think, did you see all the chalkboards? We didn't see everything. So yeah, so you're one of the chalkboard masters in town. Is there a group, a union for you?
There should be.
Sam was doing this too, right? So
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then we met a couple of other people who do this regularly for a living. Well,
But I scooped up chalkboards of SantaCruz.com before anybody else, so
Ooh.
yeah.
it's all nice. Yeah, I feel like that back to top should take you back to the work, but I couldn't figure that.
Yeah, I was, usability, that would be one of the things that would have to. My internet connection is unstable. Okay, that goes with me. Not too stable either. Yeah, so this has been a piece that I was.
That's for my podcast. Go listen. That's my cat.
Your cat sitting like a person.
Yeah, he's a 13-pound Persian.
So this is good to have yourself on the magazine rack. And yeah. I love these things. So what is this one is a photo collage. I'm seeing it now, yeah.
Yeah, that was from DM12. So
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you would get it if you didn't live in Boston, but these buildings don't actually look like this fully.
They don't live together.
Yeah, the Fenway Park actually is covering a whole bank of windows, and there's no streetlights out there. So this was my project.
The roof also looks.
Yeah, the sky is different, so it altered the roof because it was a daytime picture that I turned into. Well, I say daytime. It was an overcast, thunderstormy day.
There was more light.
Yeah, yeah. The moon wasn't out. The sun technically was, but but yeah. And then there was a bunch of people and stuff on the street, so I kind of cleaned it out. I was gonna say you don't ever see Boston without people, but with COVID, now you do. So.
Yeah, empty streets. They're out there everywhere.
Right? It's kind of creepy.
Ooh. Oh, good. Unicycle. Does everybody know that about you?
What was that?
You ride that thing around in the woods?
Yeah. That's my first unicycle. I have a better off-roading one now. But that's moss. It's not really pink. Sorry to disappoint. There is no tree like that. If there was, that'd be
Come
cool.
on, fuchsia moss.
We'll just breed some moss until it's fuchsia.
Right? We can probably do that.
Yeah.
That's my grandma.
That's funny.
I've known people like this.
Yeah.
She is a hairdresser right now at the sign shop. And that's baby Wally.
Oh,
He likes to be.
why does it look like the cat's like, when will my husband come home from the war?
He's got that look.
Lost at sea.
He's like, where's my cat treat? Who's bringing him in?
Yeah, you promised me.
Thank you.
Come to expect it. All right.
That's him older and better.
You get it hand painted.
Yeah,
Have you seen everything?
I think so.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Above and beyond. So that everybody, that isn't the amount that's required for the final, but I mean, we did, as I said, it was 5 to 8 pieces, and so 5 would be fine.
Yeah, I just
So we're just
I went with
do
the 6 on the front page, but then I was like, oh, I'll just throw these in here, get this done with while I'm doing it. So
well, why not go and finish it up? But, you know, or at least get to see it so we can see it. So that's wonderful. So let's go in here and see what we can see. And I'm going to go for the PDFs here. Nice.
Yeah, so I ended up using InDesign. I tried the Adobe portfolios, and like I really like the examples, but I couldn't really make mine look like that. I spent like a really long time like trying to like play with the formatting and stuff. But I think I got way more comfortable with InDesign this semester, so I just went back to that because I feel like I can really like I know how to do it. I want for the most part. There's still like a lot I've learned, but
yeah. Well, I'm the same way.
yeah.
But your name, the font, the beautiful script font. What is that? Where does that come from?
Man, I forgot what that was called. went through like a ton of script fonts for my DM6 final. So I tried this one with my name. I really liked it. I like it because it slants with the B.
Really nice. Yeah, yeah.
Good combo.
I also like how your bees
Yeah.
actually look like bee wings.
Yeah, I used the Seth taught us how to make our own brushes in the Illustrator class, so I did that, and it helped like a lot. Actually, I was happy with my
That's
wing.
really cool.
Thank you.
Good job, Seth.
Hmm.
So yeah, I only have 6 pieces, but these are this is I think all of this is stuff I did this semester. It's a busy semester. This is I finally got comfortable with the pen tool too. That was like a big breakthrough. I was really happy with that.
Very nice. Oh. Plant milkweed.
Like, this is one of my favorite
Some
ones.
other plants
Thank you.
that other butterflies like that we can plant.
I know.
to-
I think there's other plants, but I know that monarchs specifically, there's only one type of milkweed that they can eat, and that's the only plant, actually.
Yeah.
So there's like a problem because sometimes
Yeah.
people plant other milkweed to help, but then it doesn't.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to use this for my science illustration portfolio. Actually, I'm going to clean it up a little bit, but I was excited about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling my wife about that the other day because we saw a butterfly, and I was like, oh, let me just tell you this cool thing I saw.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Awesome.
So it's very impactful.
Cool. I like hearing that. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, the UCSC school moved down to CSUMB. It was up at UCSC for the science illustration.
Yeah, that's the program I've been looking into. I took a public class there and I really liked it. And I've known like alumni there.
Yeah.
They do like amazing work. I was kind of intimidated, but
Yeah, they really get into it the way you're supposed to do.
it's one of the best programs in the country. I've kind of been reading it.
And it's right here.
Yeah, I got in this monarch kick. So this is for Carl's class, the lettering class. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, this is Carl's class.
I went in with pen to clean it up, and you can totally see the pen like along that. So I'll have to.
So that's Art 28, right?
Yes.
Art 28, I think. Yeah, that's a really, his 2 classes are really good.
Yeah, I learned a lot, especially in the typography class. I think that was helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, my friend started his own publishing company. He sells a lot of guidebooks for climbers. He's like a semi-retired pro climber, but he doesn't have a logo. So I made him one. I'll need to fix this up. I do actually want to show him.
This looks good.
Yeah, I really like it. It looks cool.
Cool, thank you.
Steam.
Hey!
Yeah. Annie and Jane will totally know this. This is my interactive PDF, and most of the interactivity works. I was really excited about that. That was kind of fun.
That turned out way better than like any of my STEAM projects last semester. I got so tired of STEAM.
I know, I got a little burnt out with my logo and everything, but I like this project. That was fun. My brother is a web designer.
Yeah. I think Leslie's going to be doing a new, I don't know if she's going to do a new theme, but besides themes, but she has some ideas for next semester. So I wish I could take it, but I've got to turn my DM2 class into a fully online class over the summer somehow. No more PDFs, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But before I do that, I'm going to put this one back together. Never fear.
Yeah, those are, man, InDesign like kicked my butt. At first it was hard, but my sister-in-law, she's a graphic designer, and she's been wanting me to do some work for her, and she's really big on InDesign. So I really tried to work on that. It was a lot.
InDesign can go in a whole lot of directions. So that's
Yeah.
you know, there is interactivity. You can put movies in your files and put them online, stuff like that. But I look at tutorials and see how that works, but I don't know how to do it myself. But there's a lot of flexibility in design, so you
Yeah.
can. I mean, just what we're doing right now is pretty nice. Just scrolling through. Good. All right. So having some way to kind of look back on what you wish you could know and all of those kinds of things is reflection is really helpful. I also like that ligature up there, the FL ligature
I know. I
in the
love
middle
the
of
font.
yeah.
I like the W's and stuff. It's fun.
I
Yeah.
also like how your F and
Yeah,
your L flow into each other.
there's a name for that W. What is the name for that W?
I don't know.
There's a unique letters, like if it's just this kind of W, then this and this different. So I've heard type people talk about and refer to that W with a special name. Crossover, I don't know. I don't, that sounds probably not that. So this turned out really nice, and it's $3.29. So let's take a break and come back to look at more. And okay, so John,
Thank
are
you.
you recording or something? We're going to take.
I'm sorry, I was muted. What did you say?
I said we're going to. It's 3:29.
Is this the time? Is this break time now?
I think so. When did we start?
Yeah, it would be exactly an hour. So if this works for you, let's take 10.
Yeah. So we were just finishing with Bridget's here, and we'll come back and
Okie dokie.
continue with someone else.
All right. Love the bee, by the way. Okay, so I'll set my timer for 10.
Sure.
All righty. 10 minutes it is. We'll see you in 10.